Hi, and welcome to the Deep Dive. We're your shortcut to getting up to speed on important topics. Today, we're really diving into the latest global PCB market report. This one covers Q2 2024, straight from IKEA Group, our plan. To unpack what's happening right now with printed circuit boards, PCBs, and where things seem to be heading, we'll pull out the key insights, the practical stuff that, helps you understand what's shaping electronics today. So let's maybe kick things off with some good news, right? After maybe a bit of a dip in 2023, the PCB market looks set for a comeback in 2024. The report predicts about 5% growth in value and even better, 7.2% in volume globally this year. That sounds pretty solid.
It is, and what's encouraging is that this isn't just about PCBs in isolation. If you look at the wider electronics market, it's also forecast to grow around 5% this year, and they're projecting something like 4.5% annual growth looking out to 2028.
Yeah.
It really suggests that, well, inventories in most end markets have improved, which should mean more demand for PCB suppliers going forward in 2024.
Okay, that makes sense. A broader lift.
Mm-hmm.
But are there specific areas, specific sectors really pushing that growth harder than others?
Oh, absolutely. The report calls out a few standouts for this year. You've got military and aerospace looking strong, projecting about 7.1% growth. But the real sort of explosive growth area, that's server and data storage. They're forecasting a huge 23.4% increase.
Wow, 23%.
Yeah, and a lot of that is being driven by AI, just massive demand. We're seeing a big push for more complex boards. Think 18-plus multi-layer PCBs, basically cramming more power into AI servers. And then for AI on devices closer to the edge AI, there's more demand for HDI, high-density interconnect PCBs for those compact, powerful designs.
So high-performance stuff, defense, data centers, AI, that's where the action is. But, okay, growth is one thing. What about the economic side? Costs, supply chains. What's the picture there?
Right, that's definitely part of the story, too, because alongside the growth, costs are, well, they're shifting. Raw materials, for example. Copper foil prices, up 7% compared to last year. And lead times for laminates, how long it takes to get them, those jumped 25% just between Q1 and Q2 this year. We went from an average of 7 days up to 10 days. And laminate prices themselves rose 16% just from January to May this year.
16%.
Yeah.
That's quite a jump in just a few months for a core material.
It is, and it's not just the materials themselves.
You mean logistics, too,
Yeah.
getting things moved around.
Exactly. Ocean freight rates are up significantly, around 30% year over year. Routes from the Far East to Northern Europe and the U.S. saw rates climb up to 7% higher since just April. Partly that's port congestion in Asia. It's quite severe. And then you have the Red Sea disruptions, which are pushing more cargo towards air freight, which is faster, yes, but more expensive. Global air cargo volume is up 8% year over year. And, even things like oil prices matter. West Texas intermediate crude hit $75 a barrel in early June. Geopolitics, OPEC plus decisions, it all feeds in. Plus currency fluctuations, the U.S. dollar strong, around 7.3 RMB, while the euro's been weaker, below $1.09, partly due to political uncertainty in the EU. It adds complexity.
So it sounds like a bit of a double whammy then. Materials cost more, and shipping them costs more.
That's a good way to put it, yes.
So with those pressures, what's the outlook, especially thinking about new tech and the rest of 2024?
Well, despite those cost headwinds, innovation is definitely not stopping. We're seeing some really interesting trends. Things like PCB cameras are taking off forecast to grow 17% by 2027. And there's rising demand for high power boards, which are vital for, solar energy, electric vehicles. And that demand for complex PCBs we mentioned, driven by AI, sure, but also flexible substrates for bendy gadgets. And even 3D printing is making strides for intricate designs. We're even starting to see more talk about recyclable PCBs, which is really important for sustainability.
Recyclable PCBs, interesting.
Yeah.
And the near-term forecast, still positive.
Yes, very much so. Q2 already saw 4.6% year-over-year growth. Q3 is forecast around 6.0%, and they're projecting a strong end to the year, with Q4 potentially hitting 9.3% growth year-over-year.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. What's the main takeaway for you listening? It seems pretty clear. Despite those economic shifts and logistics headaches, the PCB market is really set for quite significant growth. It's being fueled by these really high-demand sectors like AI and data storage, and pushed forward by some pretty cool tech advancements. Which leads to a final thought. With this surge in AI demand and all these new PCB technologies coming online, how might these changes keep reshaping things? Not just manufacturing, but, the devices and systems we use every day. What kinds of new smart things might pop up next? All powered by these tiny, absolutely critical components. Something to think about.